Alright, I'm making this video because I see a lot of misinformation online about how server transfers work and what actually happens when you enter phase 6. So my server entered phase 6 yesterday, and we actually get to join our new server tomorrow or tonight, depending on your time zone. And I'm going to explain how it all works and actually what the hard modes actually mean, because I'm seeing a lot of misinformation about this, about builds being useless or something like that. It is actually annoying seeing all that online. So I really want to make this video to clear a lot of that up. People that are confused and wondering how it actually works, what do the hard mode servers actually contain, and what happens when it, say, overlaps with the faction PvP scenario coming out next month, or how's it work going into the new season in November, or October for PvE. So the first thing I'm going to cover is what actually is the, I guess, hard mode. So hard mode is effectively a not really a rerun of Evolution's Cool. Think of it as a mutated, reworked, and modified version of Evolution's Cool, or Manibus if you're on PvE. So there's a PvE one as well. But basically, it keeps the same core gameplay features, such as if you're on a PvP server, you'll still have Stronghold, Conquest, Frontiers, and all that similar stuff. But the difference is you will have something called super anomalies. Now, this is where a lot of the misinfo comes in. Super anomalies are effectively like bosses that you will encounter in the server, in strongholds, in dungeons, and silos, and monoliths, that will have certain mutation buffs to them. Think of this, if you've ever played New World, is mutations like, I think Beast, Corrupted, all of that. This is very similar to that, in the fact that certain weapons and certain weapon types and elements will have their damage negated. But don't be concerned, this is only temporary, because what these bosses actually can give you is something called a cradle override. Now, this is where I see a lot of the misinfo. So a cradle override is a new, I guess, effect you will be able to put into your cradle, much like Brawl Boost, all those mods that you can use, that will negate the void or balance anomaly types, or mutations as I'm going to call them. So you can take this and basically bring your build back up to par with the buffed build. So as you can see on PvP, this hard mode PvP server is a void and balance. So void is countered by unstable bomber and power surge, but that doesn't mean those other builds are useless. You can use the cradle override called anti-void, and you will be able to deal damage with other weapons on par with both unstable bomber and surge. So again, I just want to put that out there. This does not mean your build, let's say Bullseye, is useless. And more to that, this is just the bosses. You will still be able to kill the bosses with any build. It's just going to be a little bit easier with these builds until you get the cradle override. I believe the cradle overrides do also drop from super anomalies, so your first couple kills might be like a little bit harder, but that is fine. It is a hard mode server. You're signing up for a harder experience where you do less damage, where you take more health, where you have less energy, you have to eat more, you have to have more survival awareness. That is the whole point of these servers. If you're unhappy with it, just wait for the new seasons, or do a normal server where you don't have to worry about this stuff. This is a hard mode server, and that's the whole point of it. So the complaining really doesn't make sense, and also the misinformation around all builds, other than the specified ones being useless, is also very incorrect, because these builds are still going to be fantastic, again, as soon as you get the cradle override for them. To that, if you scroll down, you can actually read what the buffs are. So these cradle overrides will buff builds that aren't mentioned, such as Bullseye, Bounce. So again, Unstable Bomber, Power Surge, Burn, Frost, Bullseye, Bounce, it's all going to be fine. Every build is going to work exactly how it always has. There's just a little bit more thinking and new perks that come into play that are going to enhance your damage. Because again, this is a hard mode. Things are going to be harder. You're going to have more consumables. There's going to be a lot more polluted areas where the sanity beer is actually, I think malt ale it's called, actually going to be very useful to have. And this also comes with other new mechanics, such as new wish machine slots. More Starcrom is one of the big draws to these hard mode servers. So on hard mode servers, you will get harder territory purifications, but the yield will be greatly increased. And from the seasonal goals, it will also be 20% more. Not only that, there's actually going to be a lot of differences that haven't been mentioned here, such as strongholds and silos being obviously harder, but also longer, and again, more Starcrom, different seasonal rewards are not going to be the same. You will not be repeating the same quest. Quest progress you've done will be different, because if you've completed a side quest or a main quest, that progression will be kept going forward, which means I think they mentioned something about a streamlined version, so you're going to level up a lot faster. It is also safe to presume that on hard mode things will be fast tracked because the devs will be aware that people have already completed the novice season, so they don't need the hand holding anymore. So you can fully assume that things are going to be fast-tracked, obviously going to be harder, and there's also going to be more rewards on the line. This was just a very important thing that I wanted to mention because, again, I see a lot of misinfo about how this works. And I have another video coming tonight about all the prices when it comes to transferring items from your SpaceTime backpack, so that is going to be a video to look out for as well. Now, the other thing I want to mention here is this season, if it lasts 6 weeks, is going to overlap with the release of the Faction PvP Prison Clash, which comes out on the 9th of September. However, do not worry, because we are getting character migration soon. As referenced in Jaeger's patch notes that he posted in the official Discord, even when a scenario ends or you exit a scenario midway, you will be able to keep the rewards you've earned. So same as a scenario ending, when you leave a scenario midway, you will keep your progress and you can switch to another server. This is literally soft-referencing character migration. There's no better way to confirm it than this when you exit a scenario midway. So I just want to mention that there, character migration is a thing. I've already heard it from multiple sources, is coming, and it is safe to presume it is in the very near future. Now, if you play the PvE server and you're waiting for the new PvE scenario, that comes out in October. So you guys will pretty much have no issues with overlapping. This is more a thing related to the Prison versus Clash. And again, character migration will be a thing, so there's no need to worry about having to wait to start the new scenario, which introduces the new map. So what else I wanted to quickly mention is how the SpaceTime transferring actually works. So when you open up your backpack, down the bottom here you will have your normal backpack, which has your seasonal progression. Then you'll have your SpaceTime backpack. This is your Eternal Land Depot, as they refer to it a lot. So everything you've ever progressed, and I mean anything you've ever progressed in your season, will be automatically transferred to your SpaceTime backpack when you join your new server. So when I go here and this becomes available for me to join, I will get everything automatically put into my SpaceTime backpack, and I will be able to then pick an item. Let's go here. I can select an item and hit this button down here, and you will then be brought to this screen. This is an export resources screen. From here, I can choose progression from my past season, and I can confirm that and export that into the main game based on the amount of currency I have. And again, this is the full video I'm going to be making tonight when I actually get to join my new hard mode server. I'm going to be covering all the prices of everything, so you know what to do, what you should think about bringing. Because I'm on a day 1 server, I know a lot of servers are still behind and waiting to get to phase 6. So this is going to be a very important video to make, because I'm also going to be recommending some things that will be useful to you to bring over. Now, there's also another thing worth mentioning, is anything made with mimetic specializations, such as a solar drill, such as Stardust regulators, cannot be carried over to the new season. This is a season exclusive item, which means you cannot bring a solar drill. However, you can bring a normal drill and a normal chainsaw. That is 2 things I'm going to recommend bringing in this current video. The next video is going to go more in depth on this, but just quickly want to mention logging chainsaw, advanced chainsaw, and advanced drill. I would highly recommend bringing in, because they are not exclusive. That is pretty much everything I wanted to cover. Again, I've got that full video covering prices coming out tonight as well, but I just want to make sure I had a quick video covering how hard mode actually works. And yeah, it's another thing I actually do want to quickly mention is in the sign up screen, you will first reserve your spot. So you click on a server and you will sign up. That reserves your slot. You don't have to join it instantly. You can wait out those 4 weeks in your settlement phase if you want to. So again, it's important that as soon as you hit phase 6, you instantly reserve the server spots with your friend. You don't need to be joining it, but again, reserve it, because especially I know from what I've seen on EU is these hard mode servers are filling up quick. You can also invite friends using the special invitation codes. So that is a route. If you've got friends that are in an earlier phase that aren't in phase 6 yet, you can reserve a spot for them using the invitations. So please, whatever you do, make sure you at least reserve your slot. But if you don't want to join it yet, you don't have to. That is all I want to mention, and that is it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.